Welcome back to Expert Analysis. By now, I'm sure you're deeply immersed in the insurance sales cycle. This is a critical section which focuses on perhaps the most important stage of all, need assessment. Before we analyze the different customer interactions, let's take a minute to understand need assessment. Need assessment is identifying the gaps in protection and investment that a client has by asking them a series of questions. Questions are specifically designed to help the client open up to you about their financial matters and their current level of protection so that you, as the advisor, can take an informed decision and not one based solely on what the client asks of you. Questions may be open-ended with no definitive answers but which get the client to talk about his needs, or close-ended which have a definite yes, no, or a specific value, which can serve the purpose of validation. At the start of the call, it may be useful to ask open-ended questions. Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance, or ABSLI, uses scientifically designed financial need analysis tool to find what level of protection the client needs. Basic protection, building blocks protection, aspiration protection. Let's understand these a little more. Basic level, that is daily expenses, loan, EMI, etc. The second is building blocks level of protection, which covers things like children's education, marriage expenses, healthcare, preparing for one's retirement, etc. And finally, we come to the third level of protection, that is aspiration. This includes all the things that people aspire to have, like a fancy car, world tour, preparing for their kids to study abroad, leaving a legacy for their children, etc. Let's now look at the individual interactions. Arvind's interaction with Kamlesh is a classic case of wrong need assessment. A very strange interaction where there is almost no questioning. Arvind assumes what he thinks is the client's need based on his limited knowledge of Kamlesh's financial situation.
I have something for you, but...
Look Arvind, I'm not in a BMW league. I have had my share of insurance advisors chasing me, and the experience was terribly bad over the past. So you being an old friend of mine, I thought you'll give me a right advice.
He positions needs which were more aspirational, whereas Kamlesh perhaps needed a retirement solution to guarantee financial security. Let's now look at Shiv's call with Zareen. Zareen uses questions very effectively. Let's start with the use of questioning by Zareen. A close-ended question which confirms Karan's profession.
Shiv tells me you work in a construction firm. Are you an engineer by profession?
Yes.
This is followed by an open-ended question which establishes Karan's mindset.
So, how's the real estate industry going?
Not too good. There's a lot of uncertainty.
Zareen shows good listening skills as she gets Karan to open up about his requirement and the need to cover his home loan.
My biggest worry is that I've just bought this new house and this EMI is I really need to cover.
Sure. And I'm sure you have a lot of other regular monthly expenses as well. So, if you don't mind me asking, what are your expenses for a month?
A classic case of basic protection requirements. Her strong listening and empathetic approach actually helps overcome Karan's distrust of insurance agents. This call clearly adds a lot of momentum to the interaction with Karan, but Zareen rightly warns that a strong follow-up would be required. Meanwhile, Smita's interaction with Mohini, the divorce lawyer, is also instructive as a case of underestimation of the client need. Mohini was clearly looking at aspirational needs like higher education for her daughter, whereas Smita kept pushing marriage as the need, ironically, to a divorce lawyer.
Have you thought about saving for their marriage?
Marriage? That is what I deal with in my job every day. I never thought about for my kids.
I mean, the older one should be thinking about marriage now, right? Especially now that she's in the working world.
Well, she has no plans yet. And the younger one plans to study abroad.
Sunil's failure is a reminder that the right attitude and focus is important for success as an advisor. Now that we have covered this critical section, let us move on to the next section.